All right, let us begin with section 7, fragment, Sheffield 2. Heavy footsteps echo across the northern plains. The Queen's army is on the move. A military flag depicting black flames in a mighty fortress flaps at the forefront of the army marching on Sheffield. Tamlin Gawain leads the army. Her objective is not to snuff out the sparks of rebellion, nor to negotiate with Bogart. Beryl Gut, who was named the Queen's proxy only yesterday, flashes a wicked grin. This all occurred one day before Sheffield was wiped off the map.
Aren't you going to rest, Lord Bogart? Is there something on your mind? I'd be happy to listen.
You can't even pour me a glass of wine. You really are a poor excuse for a wife, aren't you? Well, that's all right. I can't appreciate alcohol anyway. In fact, I don't understand why humans cook their food at all. Cutting, slicing, roasting, frying, seasoning. It all seems like a waste of time and good meat to me. The Fang Clan doesn't need to act more human, and it certainly doesn't need restaurants. Did you know that Oxford is practically full to bursting with restaurants these days? Everywhere you go, there's a Woodwoses on every corner. It's a sick joke is what it is. Can you even imagine if all the shops on Sheffield's main street were nothing but restaurants? It would be so absurd no one would even know how to react.
Yes, that's true. It would be a funny sight.
Yes, if nothing else, those restaurants are good for a laugh. It would be fun to show you one day. Never mind. I don't know why I said that. So, Child of Prophecy. I am told you've been defeating Moore on behalf of the townspeople. I also know you've been seen fighting while wearing that armor of yours, even after I told you not to draw attention.
Yes, I have. I'm sorry, Lord Bogart. I guess I'm just not fit to be your wife.
Of course you aren't, you fool. You never were. And yet, even though you're capable of battling Moore, you're afraid to wield a weapon. You never came back for that iron cylinder. Those merchants told me they found you and the cylinder together, and yet you've never even mentioned it. It's almost as though you would prefer to forget about it entirely. That cylinder rivals Morgan's sacred lance. Why would you run from such incredible firepower?
I don't know. It's just something about that thing feels like it could hurt everyone. Like it could hurt all of Britain, and that scares me.
No, you're not afraid of that cylinder. You're afraid of fighting itself. Never mind. Even if I did know your true feelings, I doubt I would understand them. All that matters are your records and accomplishments. Have you still not regained your memories? I don't know if it's your calling, but I have no doubt that you are a knight, one who has been fighting a long time. And yet I have never seen you in the Queen's army before, nor have I heard of a new Tamlin being appointed. In fact, I've never seen a fairy that looks like you anywhere. Where did you come from? Are you actually the Child of Prophecy who will save all of Britain? If you are, then you will be forced to fight wherever you go, for the Child of Prophecy's pilgrimage leads down a road of blood and war. Do you truly have what it takes? Can you not only defeat the Queen, but also unify the 6 clans and maintain your rule over them?
I don't...
Of course you can't. You simply aren't made for that, even if you were to regain your memories. Fairies are meant to live their lives how they like, in accordance with their purpose. Why would you force yourself to go through with something you don't desire? No. It's like I thought. Not thought. Knew. You aren't the child of prophecy. You are no more than an imitation. A lost little lamb. I've been fighting for a long time. I've been fighting the Moor since I was born. Fighting the Moor has always fallen to the Fang clan. It only made sense. We're the strongest clan in Britain. And Woodwose and I were the strongest of all the Fang clan. The two of us alone have saved Britain from the Moor countless times. It was those accomplishments that led to Woodwose being named Lord of Oxford, and I Norwich.
Yes, I remember. You told me before that you were once the Lord of Norwich. But you never told me how you ended up in Sheffield.
A man named Capless put one over on me. He has taken over the Spriggan name now. But never mind that scumbag. It's nothing you need to hear about. You know about the Caterpillar War of 200 years ago, yes? It was the only war that made the Queen scream like a flesh-and-blood woman. I never would have guessed that the accursed Morgan would be so afraid of insects. At any rate, during that war, Morgan gave, redacted, the name Gawain and made her a knight. No one can perceive Redacted's name anymore. The Queen changed it so that Gawain became her true name. Now no one can call her by her original fairy name until she is defeated. Woodwose hated Redacted, and claimed she was the daughter of the detestable Black Dogs, but I always admired her sheer strength. In fact, I am part of the reason she became a Tam Lin. One day I told her, if you don't want to be called a dog, you need only stop fighting with tooth and claw. Redacted, heir of the precious blood, from here on you will fight with the greatest of swords, your horn. Ever since, she began carrying a sword with her wherever she went, until one day her prowess as a knight caught the Queen's eye. She then became a Tam Lin, and began shielding fairies from the Moor of her own volition. I suspect that was because she had long been ostracized as a daughter of the Black Dogs. That allowed her to understand how the weak feel, and made her demand responsibility from the strong. I believe the Queen calls that noblesse oblige. It seems there is a limit to the reach of human civilization's influence. You know, you remind me of Redacted back when she had just been born. Back then, she agonized over having been born strong, and hated that she would now have to continuously exploit the weak. There's something about you that reminds me of her disgraceful crying.
I see. So you still care deeply for this Gawain person.
Hardly. I stopped thinking about her 200 years ago when she became a Tam Lin. What am I saying? Why am I sitting here telling you about my youth instead of my daring exploits? This was a waste of time. Forget tonight ever happened. Erase it from your memory. I'm going back to the tribunal.
Okay. Take care, Lord Bogart, and please try not to stay up too late.
That reminds me. Why aren't you afraid of me?
I think it's because Sheffield is such a beautiful city. And I'm told you were the one who restored it from almost nothing. Even though it's a fortress city, it puts the livelihood of the fairies who live in it first, making it a bright and comfortable place to live. I don't think I could ever be afraid of anyone who set out to build a city like that.
Well, of course. Sheffield is much more beautiful than Norwich ever was. But that ends today. We'll be closing our gates as of tomorrow. Once the fight with Morgan's army begins, no one will call this city beautiful any longer.
What was that, Lord Bogart?
That's the alarm bell from the sentry tower. But why now? They can't possibly be here already. What's going on? What is the situation? Don't tell me the Queen's army crossed the eastern mountains atop the Odvena in only 2 days.
They have, sir. The Queen's army is drawing steadily closer to the main gate. We also received a message from them not too long ago. Would you like to read it?
No, you read it. Just summarize it for me. What did Morgan say?
That is,
Well, what are you waiting for? Tell me.
Yes, sir. It says, hand over the child of prophecy, and I will grant Sheffield its freedom.
The child of prophecy? Does she mean Lady Mash? But why? What about Norwich? Does it say anything about giving Norwich back to us? No, wait, does that mean grant us our freedom? Does that mean she doesn't care if Lord Bogart continues to grow his army?
Ah! Is that what you think, Morgan? You think our rebellion poses no threat to you? How much must you humiliate the Fang clan before you will be satisfied?
Excuse me, sir, I have an urgent message. The sentry just confirmed that Gawain's flag is at the head of the Queen's army. Tamlin Gawain is leading the advance.
Oh, is she now? Very tricky, Queen. She talks big, but shows us she sees us as a threat just by sending who she did. The very fact that she would send her right-hand woman to deal with us is proof that she fears our army. She knows she can't possibly take down Sheffield while Knocknaria is sending out troops up north. So she chose to negotiate rather than try to put us down, which means the army out there is only for show. No wonder they got here so quick. They can't possibly be armed for battle. So which will it be? Will she give Norwich back to us or send enough troops to dispel the Calamity Pool? I look forward to hearing which answer you chose, O Queen of Britain.
Lord Bogart, it isn't just Gawain's flag. Tristan and Lancelot's flags have been spotted as well. All 3 of the Tamlin are headed this way. The most powerful forces in Fairy Britain are all bearing down on us as we speak.
What? All 3 of them?
All troops are in position, Lady Gawain. What would you have us do?
Remain on standby until the messengers we sent to Bogart returns. Tell Tristan's forces to do the same. What is Lancelot doing?
Lady Lancelot is standing by in the air. She says she'll drop onto the castle once the fighting begins. The Queen's orders were to cleanse Sheffield thoroughly, in addition to Bogart's army. Everyone in the castle, military or otherwise, will be considered targets for Lady Lancelot.
Fine. We don't need them lined up anyway. Tell Lancelot to drop on the back gate when the time comes. If they try to let the Child of Prophecy escape, that's where they'll do it. Bogart, if you open your gates to us now, this can all end without bloodshed. Don't make me use my horn on you. Look at your forces and look at ours. You're a rational fairy. You must see that resistance would be futile.
Incoming message, my lady. The messenger we sent to Sheffield just returned with Bogart's reply. It says there is no Child of Prophecy in my castle. All you will find here is contempt for the Queen. This castle and I are one. If I should return to the earth, its purpose will also come to an end. That's all he wrote.
That fool. Squads 1 and 2, ready your siege gear. Sheffield's ramparts will be difficult to break through. They may be even more formidable than my foul weather. Be prepared for casualties as high as 20%.
Yes, my lady. We are prepared to accept any fate in the name of the Queen.
Damn you, Bogart. Your reach exceeds your grasp. Did you really think Her Majesty would give Sheffield special treatment simply because it keeps Knocknaria in check? You are a fool to underestimate us. We don't need to ambush Knocknaria to keep Camelot safe from her. No truly capable leader in your position would have made such a grievous error in judgment. Your time is over, you old fool. All that remains now is for me to put you out of your misery.
Assemble the troops. Prepare to hold the castle. Send word to Knocknaria. Tell her we can hold out on our own for 2 days and to send backup before then.
At Bogart's command, Sheffield began its true battle. Many high-ranking fairies said no one told them all 3 Tamlin would be there, and that they should just give up on the Child of Prophecy. But Bogart quickly put an end to their dissent. It wasn't clear whether he did it because he didn't want the Child of Prophecy to protect him, or because he wanted to save her as a last resort. Whatever his reasons were, his decision was correct. If they had given up the Child of Prophecy, every fairy in Sheffield would have been cruelly slaughtered that much sooner. Report from the sentry tower. The enemy siege weapons are burning the ramparts. They've already burned through 1 layer of tree bark. The Earth Clan fairies are using oak trees to reinforce the walls, but at this rate they won't last the night. They need immediate backup.
The soldiers stationed atop the ramparts have their hands full fending off invaders scaling the walls. We outnumber them now, but they're better trained than we are. It's only a matter of time until they outnumber us as well. So far, the fighting is yet to reach the town thanks to our soldiers' valiant efforts, but... What was that? Did Gawain just break in on her own?
Lancelot is attacking from above. She's destroying the barracks.
It's no use. She's too fast for even the Wind Clan fairies to track. There's no way we can shoot her down. Get her down on the ground, even if you have to destroy one of the barracks. Lancelot is like a bee, all speed and no power. As long as we can ground her, I can easily. Now what is it? Did they just fire a cannon at us?
No, sir. It's Gawain. She's using her galatine on the main gate. She's already burned through the gate's bark down to the 10th layer. We'll never be able to regrow it in time if she keeps hammering on it.
Damn that girl. What about the castle grounds? Are the soldiers in formation?
No, sir. The citizens are so panicked they keep getting in the way. Some fairies are even starting to riot, demanding that we let them out of the rear gate.
Whatever you do, do not open the rear gate. If even one fairy makes it out, the whole thing will collapse. Never mind the throne room, Captain. Get down there and suppress those riots.
Yes, sir. Let's go, you lot. There's too much chaos at both the ramparts and the castle. We can't fight everywhere at once. Please, Lord Bogart, tell us what we should do. You're the one who said we could fight off the Queen's army here. Or are you going to send out the Child of Prophet?
I know, damn it! We just need to put out one of those fires, yes? Well, we've got a magecraft cannon of our own. Let's see what kind of power the Child of Prophecy truly has.
Enraged, Bogart ran to the iron cylinder mounted on the castle keep as fast as his legs could carry him. He didn't think that alone would actually change the battle's course. At best, he hoped that it might provide an opportunity to turn the tide. Little did he know that fateful pull of the trigger would be the beginning of Sheffield's end. The attack that would transform the battle from a siege into a scene of pure annihilation. The shaft of light that all but exploded from the castle changed everything. The 600 Royal Army soldiers who had been laying siege to the gate vanished in an instant. The Sheffield soldiers who had been fighting valiantly atop the ramparts died on the spot, blood gushing from their bodies. Those fairies merely near the beam's path breathed their last peacefully, as though they had only fallen asleep. The ramparts, which hadn't so much as budged when struck by Gawain's galatine, were now completely melted down, barely leaving behind a husk. Even the Tam Lin who had been standing before the main gate could no longer be seen amidst the haze of white smoke.
Lady Gawain, she's...
For just a moment, terror gripped the battlefield. Both the Queen's army, who had suddenly lost the will to fight, and the soldiers of Sheffield, who would normally have welcomed the turn of the tide, reeled at the nightmare that had sprung up around them. Amidst the white smoke, only a single figure was still standing, though his breathing was shallow and ragged.
Lord Bogart. That was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Behold, my soldiers. If this isn't fortune smiling upon us, I don't know what is. We can win. We can still win. Not even the Tam Lin can touch me while I have this. This. With this, I can obliterate anything that stands in my way. And not just Morgan. I can be rid of that fool Woodrose, Knocknaria from the north, and the Calamity Pool threatening Norwich. This is incredible. Just magnificent.
Though it was right in front of him to see, Bogart remained blind to the truth. He failed to realize how odd it was that the dead Queen's soldiers had vanished without a trace. He failed to notice his own soldiers' painful deaths on the ramparts. He failed to see the fairies who had collapsed near the castle, and the soldiers right next to him who had fallen like withered trees. The child of prophecy fell to her knees in despair, aghast at the horrors her sins had brought about. It wasn't just that she had inadvertently harmed the townspeople she cared so deeply for. Was it the fact that she had brought that cylinder here? That was part of it. Was it her inability to stop Bogart? Certainly that was a part of it too. More than anything, she felt her greatest sin was her own weakness. Her failure to consider the effects she had on those around her, or the reason she was here in the first place, using the loss of her memory as an excuse.
Now who's next? Where's that accursed Lancelot flying about? Here, child of prophecy, come here. You can wield this even more accurately, right? You see that blue bee buzzing around up there? I want you to shoot it down along with the Queen's army.
Bogart turned, oblivious to what was happening to him. There he saw.
Why? Why must I harm this beautiful world? Forget about him, Mash. Come on, we need to get out of here. But what about Lord Bogart? We can't leave him here alone.
Don't you worry about me. You really are weak and useless, aren't you? I have no need for a queen who weeps over war. Go on, take her wherever you like.
There, you see, Bogart made his choice. He'd rather stay here and kill his enemies. What do you want to do? What can you do? I have to help the townspeople escape. Okay. I'd rather make a break for it myself, but if that's what you want, I'm game. Now come on, let's hurry. See ya, Bogart. Don't worry about my tab. I'll be taking your bride as my payment. But Bogart, please be careful.
Lady Gawain, you're all right. I can't believe it.
You can't believe what? Oh, you mean that light round? That was just a beam of hot magical energy. The only threat it posed was a bit of iron poison. It was crude and used without heart. It can't even compare to a single strike from High Queen Morgan. Now what are you all doing? And you call yourselves the cream of Camelot's crop? Hurry up and resume your advance. That fool Bogart just destroyed his own town's greatest defense. Now is our chance to seize the castle. Pay no heed to the ones fleeing. All you need to concern yourself with is Sheffield's castle.
The Queen's army poured in through the front gates as the soldiers of Sheffield tried to fight back. Some of the townspeople hid in their homes, holding up their hands in surrender when the Queen's soldiers broke in. Others saw that the front gate was lost and scrambled to make their way to the rear one. Tamlin Gawain remained steadfast at the front gate, glaring at the castle keep a kilometer away. To Bogart, who had become utterly enthralled with the cylinder's sheer destructive power, she may as well have painted a target on herself.
You think you can match this power, girl? You think you can distract me? Cursed Knight of Morgan, let's see how tall you can stand after I fire another shot straight at you.
Distracted by his elation, Bogart failed to realize that the weapon's poison was eating away at him. The only things on his mind were his animosity for Gawain, the Tamlin he despised, and admiration for Redacted's magnificent leadership.
That little girl has
become quite the fine knight, he thought, as his lips curled into a smile. At that moment, he recalled the other girl's tears just a brief moment ago. For the first time in all his life, Bogart found himself on a battlefield wondering one simple thing. Why? Why was the girl crying? Why had she been so upset? What reason could she possibly have for such sadness? Try as he might, Bogart could not understand.
What am I thinking? This is war, and I have a weapon that can defeat my enemy. Weapons exist to be used. What more is there to consider? Sheffield belongs to me. I'll never let you bastards have so much as a single citizen.
Even as he dimly grew more aware of his true anger, laid not with the Tamlin but with his own cowardice, Bogart placed his increasingly numb finger on the trigger and prepared to fire his last shot.
It looks like the castle is still safe. Can we evacuate the townspeople here? We could, but then there'd be nowhere for them to run. They'd all end up either captured or killed. If you really want to save everyone, we'll need to open the rear gate and secure an escape route for them. Sure, it'll basically hand Sheffield to the enemy, but that was going to happen sooner or later anyway. The townspeople may not have a lot of great options available to them. But whether they die to the Queen's army, head north to become Knocknaria's slaves, or get lost in the Nightcall's domain, it should at least be their choice. Now come on, Mash, let's head to the rear gate. Just make sure you run for it if you see a Tamlin, okay? They're here for you after all. I will. Let's go, Habitrot.
Please, open the gate! The Queen's soldiers are right on our heels! If they catch us, they're gonna tax us! I don't have that much longer left to live! There's no way I'll survive another taxation! Calm down, we can't open the gate. Besides, it wouldn't change anything. It won't be long now before Lord Bogart sends the Queen's army packing. Return to your homes and await his victory. Those of you without homes, head for the castle. We guards can't stay here any longer either. We need to hurry to front gates. We don't got time for this. We can't go back to our homes. Oh, the fire raining down from above would burn us alive. And the Queen's soldiers are already occupying the castle. Our only choice is to run for it. Nocnaria's army is practically next door, right? I'm sure they'll help us. After all, they're the King Clan. Now get out of our way, you useless cretins! Lord Bogart can't save us. He's the disappointment of the Fang Clan. Yeah, Bogart failed. He's too weak to be a lord. He had no business challenging the Queen of all people. You bastards! Oh man, things are at the boiling point over here too. First it's the Queen's soldiers, now we have to worry about a possible riot too. It's not like yelling at the guards is going to do anyone any good, though I do get why they're doing it. Damn it, this way's blocked too. Bogart sure covered his bases. How about the sewer, Wog? Can we make it out from there?
No dice, Rob. There's a wall blocking our way here too. I knew they were probably just trying to seal off ways an enemy could sneak in, but this is overkill.
Crap, then we really don't have a way out of here. What about the rear gate, Wog? Did you see how they open it?
Of course, Rob. I've been keeping an eye on the guards here just like you told me to. There are levers hidden behind the third pillar in both the left and right guardhouses. All we gotta do is raise and lower them. The two of us should be able to manage it. Oh, but be careful not to step on the stake at the tower's foothold. It's a safety mechanism that'll make the whole thing stop working once it's broken.
Wow, that's great, Wog. I'm impressed. You've really grown up.
Really? You mean it? Then does that mean I can make it on my own like Winky?
Eventually, sure. But don't worry about that unless I get captured. Okay, let's sneak in and get that gate open. These Sheffield fairies have treated us to a lot of good booze. This is the least we can do to repay. Oh crap, it's the Queen's army. They're already here. Forget the gate, Wog. Stay out of sight here and keep an eye on things. Ah, damn it, we're a little too late. This is gonna be a bloodbath.
But why can't we open the gate then? Wouldn't that help?
Don't be stupid. Didn't I teach you to play it safe? What's the most important thing in the world? Your life, right? Then you gotta take good care of it. After all, what's the point of having something valuable if you don't save it for when it really counts?
Hey, yeah, you're right. We can't sell ourselves short. Okay, then let's stay here in the sewer until... Rob, look! Over there! Someone's sending the Queen's soldiers flying! It's Anise! Anise is here to save us!
I told you she's called MASH now. Anyway, change of plans. Let's sneak into the guardhouses while she's got everyone's attention.
Woohoo! All right! Way to go, MASH! That's our child of prophecy!
The Queen's army bore down on the panicked fairies crowding around the rear gate. The guards advanced to meet them, but could not make it through the press of so many bodies. Soon, the Queen's soldiers would set upon the fairies trying desperately to escape. Once first blood was shed, there would be no going back. The fairies were too frightened to think straight, so the Queen's soldiers regarded them as violent dissidents. Soon the rear gate would become a bloodbath from which none would escape alive. Unless, of course, she had something to say about it.
Huh?
Lady MASH, what are you doing here?
I came to help. Can you open the rear gate, Lute?
I'm not authorized to make that call, but then again, if the Lord's Lady wishes to pass through the gate, I guess we have no choice but to open it.
Thank you.
Not at all, milady. I was this close to doing something I would have regretted forever. Some guard I turned out to be. Someone help me open the gate, and hurry! Don't let the Queen's army into the guardhouses. Don't let them touch the safety mechanism either. If you see anyone suspicious in there, kill them. I've located a fairy that appears to be the child of prophecy, moving in for the kill. You four, with me. The rest of you, dispose of those fairies. Don't let a single seed of dissent escape.
Oh, no, you don't. You're facing me and me alone. If it's bloodshed you want, then it's bloodshed you'll get. I am Tamlin Galahad, the Knight of Sheffield. I am your enemy, and I will stop you all right here, right now.
It's open! The Child of Prophecy opened the gate for us! I don't see any of the Queen's soldiers outside. This is our chance to escape!
All right, it looks like our work here is done. Come on, Mash, let's run for it too. Don't worry about the city. Bogart can handle it. Whatever else you can say about him, he's still a great knight. He knew this might happen when he began his rebellion. You don't have to share that responsibility with him. This is his last stand, no one else's. Habitrot! Habitrot! Escape is not an option. Your only options are to surrender and accept capture, or to die here and now.
Lancelot! It's Tamlin Lancelot! Oh, we're all gonna die!
What is that? A fairy? A Tamlin, you say, for real? So that is the Child of Prophecy. Fine. This is annoying, but moving in to capture her. But first, what do you call yourself? Galahad or something. That's quite the name you threw out. Oh crap, here she comes. Get ready, Mash. Don't hold anything back against her. By the way, why did you call yourself Galahad? Who even is Galahad? Is he some boyfriend of yours you never told me about? Damn it. I don't know who Galahad is either, but it just sort of came out. At any rate, everyone, please try to escape. I'll do my best to hold her off.
And then Mash is super defeated.
It's no use. Nothing's working on her. My strength is fading. I see. And here I thought your shield might be something special. But the Round Table's protection is useless against me. My mystics are just too powerful for it.
That explosion came from the castle keep. Lord Bogart!
Oh crap, she totally wants to go save him, doesn't she? I'm glad she doesn't look as defeated as she did a second ago, but come on! Oh, a second wind. You're tougher than you look. I see why you chose Galahad for your name, at least. But it's no use, Child of Prophecy. This ends now. You're not going anywhere. We don't need two Children of Prophecy. I guess it was just too soon for you to call yourself a Tamlin, or to assume Galahad's name. Goodbye. Who did that?
Sorry about that, but that girl there's an acquaintance of mine. I didn't want to get involved, but I'd rather she not die on me. Please, stand down, Lancelot. Do that and we can all just go home. No fuss, no muss.
Are you the wolf who's been watching over me all this time?
You knew. Oh, so much for the mysterious shtick. Your instincts. No, your powers of observation are just as keen as ever. Anyway, I'll handle Lancelot here, don't worry. I can at least buy you enough time to escape.
All right. Thank you, robed person.
Wait, the hell? I thought you were gonna run outside. Why are you headed back to the castle? Hey!
I knew it. Oh, but what can you do? That's Smash for you. Hey, Grimir, it's you, right? Sorry to run since you haven't seen each other in forever, but thanks for this.
Sure, no problem. Definitely not gonna survive this, but oh well. So, mind facing me instead? It might cost me my life, but I can at least send you flying out of the castle.
Grimir. I see. So you're Grimir the Sage. The savior of the Fey Era's familiar. Now you're a servant who's been summoned to the era of the High Queen. And you still haven't learned. Her Majesty said I should dispose of you, so I will. I don't suppose you have any last words.
Oh, sure, but it'd take way too long to get through them all. Besides, we're both outsiders in Fairy Britain anyway. So, let's just have some fun and not worry about the rest.
Well, so you even deflected that one. I guess your skin really is tougher than Gawain's. But unfortunately for you, I don't care how tough your skin is. I only care about what's under it. I want to touch your muscles once they're all exposed, gushing blood. I want to make a belt from your guts. Well, go on, big guy. Scream for me. Scream from your insides being twisted all around. You'll be just like an old doll nobody wants to buy.
Hey, watch it, milady. You almost got blood on me. I'm about to see an old friend here, you know. I gotta look my best.
Oh, please. You were practically drenched in blood just a little while ago. Anyway, check this out, Beryl. See how miserable Bogart looks? First, a little charm to project his soul out of his likeness. And look, I can move him however I like. First we bend the arms, then we bend the legs, and... It's the ugliest marionette I've ever seen. This spell you taught me is hilarious.
Oh, that one. That's called fetish. It's a bit beyond me, but since you're a fairy, it's obviously no problem for you. If anything, it looks like a perfect fit for you. Even I didn't think you were gonna take to it this much.
Fetish? What a silly name. Okay, I'm gonna make this my noble phantasm. Whoever I use this on will be turned into my plaything before they even know what's happening. They'll be mine to do with as I please before they even know it's being done to them. This is awesome, I love it. Face left, face right. Put your hands together in prayer. I can't think of a more pathetic way to die.
Damn you, Tristan. I'll never fall to the likes of...
Just shut up and die already. How the hell are you still alive when your heart's been torn to pieces anyway?
Whoa there, my lady. Don't finish him off just yet. Just keep it cool for now. I still need him alive for one last thing. At least for a little longer. Oh, well, speak of the devil. Guess your wifey really loves you, huh, Mr. Lord? I'm kinda jealous.
Bogart, are you okay?
Why? Why?
Hang on, Mash, can't you slow down a... Oh, what the hell? Why is Bogart all bloody and floating in the air? Did that girl sitting on the throne do this to him? Hold on, Bogart, I'll get you down from there.
Oh there, not so fast. If you want Lord Bogart to live, you'd better not move a muscle. You did come here to save him, right? How about we start with a nice, peaceful discussion? After all, you were never too big on fighting and stuff, right, Mash?
You know who I am, don't you? But I'm afraid I don't...
Have your memories right now, right? Yeah, I heard. But what was his name? Mikey? Minky? Funky? Whatever it was, he told me all about it. Man, you sure have been through a lot, huh, Mash? I can only imagine how hard it was for you. But don't you worry. My name's Barrel Gut, and I'm here to rescue you from your hardships in this strange land. Don't be fooled by this pretty face. Behind it is a mind filled with information about your past. Now come on, let's go back to New Darlington and have some fun just like we used to.
Don't trust him, Mash. He's bad news. Lancelot was a bad matchup for us because she was just too strong. But he's just bad no matter how strong or weak he might be. He reeks the blood down to his soul. I feel the same way. Even if I did know him, I can still tell that I shouldn't trust anything he says.
Ouch, that hurts, Mash. What happened to you? First you lose your memories, then you lose your way. Oh, right, I see. You must have gotten mixed up with the wrong kind of fairies. Hey, I don't blame you. If I had been palling around with a bunch of broke-ass bandits, I'd probably have trouble trusting people too. But hey, don't worry, I'm still the same.
What happened to the fairy who told you about me? Tell me, where is Winky now?
I can't tell you that. I mean, I don't know or care where fairies go when they die, right?
You... Huh? Who said you could move? No way!
That hurt. I've heard of people throwing people against a wall, but I've never had a wall thrown against me. Yikes. Guess I'd better do something before you literally turn me to mincemeat. The truth is, Mash, neither me nor that Tamlin there can beat you now. Not when you're a Tamlin named after Galahad, the greatest knight the Round Table ever produced. So I'm afraid we've got no choice but to play dirty. Do it, Tristan.
You got it. Like this, right? See? Your beloved Lord Bogart is dangling outside the castle walls now. All I have to do is release this thread and he'll hit the ground head first. Normally, a little drop like this wouldn't faze him, but since he's hanging on by a thread in more ways than one, I think it'll be enough to finish him off. Now, how much longer are you going to keep making moves on my man?
Ooh, oh, thanks, Lady Spinel. I swear, how did you know exactly what I had in mind? You're a genius.
Of course I knew, Beryl. This is us we're talking about, and I know just what's going to happen next, too. What do you want? It doesn't seem like you're here to capture the Child of Prophecy. Me, that is.
Well, technically, we did come here to kill the Child of Prophecy, but whether we do or not kinda depends. See, we're actually in more dire straits here than we might seem. Even together, me and Lady Spinel here are no match for you. And you'll never forgive us for tormenting Bogart there. So if he dies here, it's obvious that we'll be the next ones to bite it. If you went nuts, there's not much we could do about it.
I suppose you're right. I don't think I could stop myself either.
Right, which is why I propose a little wager. I'll let you in on a secret. I'm Morgan's master. Oh right, guess you didn't know what a master is now, do you? Basically, I'm kind of like Morgan's husband. If you kill me, both Morgan and her army will lose at least half their strength. So any Child of Prophecy worth her salt, or shield as it were, would never pass up the chance. And like I said earlier, not even the two of us combined could stop you now. Well, I hate to say this after I went to all the trouble of putting this show together, it'd all be for nothing if we fought. Or at least, that would be the case if you didn't have our little insurance policy here. Understand?
So you want me to let you two go in exchange for Bogart's life? You want me to choose between killing you and saving him?
No, I don't think we need to bother with that. The thread keeping Bogart in the air snapped. Barrowgut was right. He did know the girl well. He knew that with the thread gone, she wouldn't hesitate to dive after Bogart to save his life.
Bogart!
See, even with her memories gone, she's still the same old Mash. Far as I'm concerned, it won't matter if she never gets over her amnesia. Barrelgut's laughter echoed throughout the ruins of the castle, after he had finished snickering at the girl's desperate rescue attempt. Okay, now we just have to bring this black barrel thing back with... Hey, Lady Spinel, what happened to the giant 3-meter-long cannon that was just here? Don't tell me it fell too, seriously.
Sorry, I was so absorbed in you I didn't see what happened to it.
Oh, well, I guess I can't blame you for that. Besides, it's no biggie. All right, Lady Spinel, I think we've had enough fun for one night. What do you say we head back home?
Are you sure? What about that MASH girl? I thought you really wanted her.
Well, sure. But remember how Morgan said to leave her alone? Besides, no one but Lancelot could take her on anyway. I'm just gonna have to think up another way to make her mine.
I see. So she's stronger than I am. That little brat, I was so excited to tear her apart. Is it okay if I go kill the fairies here? I need to blow off some steam before I die from the stress.
Oh, don't worry, we just have to change our approach. Remember what I told you before? If you can't hurt the outside, rot the inside. If Mash wants to rescue people as the Child of Prophecy, we'll let her do just that. That way, it'll just be a matter of time until she feels her conscience weighing down on her. The more she goes around passing herself off as the Child of Prophecy, the more despondent she'll end up. That's just how things seem to work here in the land of the Fae. In the span of the few seconds it took for the two figures to fall from the castle keep to the courtyard, the girl made a desperate dash down the castle wall, cradled Bogart in her arms, and turned to absorb the brunt of the impact herself. Though she knew it was the only thing she could do to keep Bogart alive, she hadn't accounted for his weight being added to her fall. And even she couldn't help but experience a short bout of dizziness upon standing up.
I'm okay. I'm okay. What about you, Bogart? Are you all right?
More or less. Besides, this is my second time falling from that height.
Though panting and out of breath, Bogart's flippant remarks were as cutting as ever. The girl gave a great sigh of relief, but that relief proved short-lived. Bogart's body was cold as stone, and his breathing faint and shallow.
We need to get you to a medic right away, but I'm afraid everyone in the castle is...
It's all right. I know all the medics are gone. I can hear the sounds of my soldiers' swords clashing, flames spreading, and my soldiers' battle cries and death throes. So the enemy has made it inside the castle.
Yes, they have. By the time I got back, it was already too late.
Why did you? Never mind. Just take me to the rear gate. I trust you can do that since you came all this way for me.
Of course. Oh, but Habitrot still hasn't... I'm right here. Jeez, I can't believe you just jumped out of the castle like that. Still, it did turn out to be the fastest way to escape, so I guess it all worked out. Oh, thank goodness! I guess I should have known that you would be light on your feet, Habanyan. You know it. Plus, my spinning wheel here can actually fly a bit. Trust me, it's a lot more versatile than it looks. But don't call me Habanyan, it makes me too happy. Right. Okay, I'm going to take Bogart to the rear gate. Would you cover me, Habitrot?
Habitrot nodded, of course. The girl tried to lift Bogart's great bulk, only to realize the magical energy that had been surging through her moments ago had vanished. Between her battle with Lancelot and the fall she had just taken, she had long since reached her limit.
You fool. Tamlin or not, you're still half human.
Stop, Bogart, you mustn't. You're in no condition to carry me. Please, put me down, I can walk on my own.
Don't be ridiculous. You don't even have the strength to escape my grip. Come, the rear gate is this way. Hurry.
Bogart picked the girl up roughly and staggered forward as quickly as his bloody body could move, which was of course not very quick at all. But he kept on, slowly but surely, like a groom carrying his bride across the threshold.
Oh man, I think it's even worse now. There are more fairies packed in front of the gate than ever, Bogart. There's no way we can get close without the Queen's soldiers spotting us.
Up to that point, Habitrot had been able to keep them away from the Queen's soldiers, but that luck was not to last. If they were to approach the gate now, all eyes would be on Bogart and the Child of Prophecy.
You're right. It's fortunate the gate is already open, but at this rate... No. We can still get out through the gate. If we stay here, it will only be a matter of time until they find us anyway. Thanks to you two, I've got a good deal of my strength back. I can run now. Some of my citizens still can't make up their minds about whether they should stay or go. I have to help them escape. Keep your head down until we're outside, Child of Prophecy. I don't want you drawing attention to yourself now.
Okay, but if you say so.
All right, let's go. What are you fools doing? The castle has fallen, the battle on the main street is over. The Queen's soldiers are headed this way. Escape through the rear gate and get to the Twisted Hole in Thistle Hill. I trust you know what I mean by that, my fellow Sheffielders.
Lord Bogart, you're alive! But Thistle Hill's Twisted Hole is a one-way road. That's where the night call...
That's where I'm going. If any of you have any other prospects, you're free to take them, but don't stay here. Don't you hear that? Gawain's Black Dogs, the main force of the Queen's army, are headed this way.
At Bogart's command, the fairies began scrambling through the rear gate. As he carried the girl in his arms, Bogart himself continued to walk through the gate slowly, calmly, setting an example to keep the nearby fairies from panicking.
I'm impressed, Bogart, but how's getting them outside gonna help? Look behind us, the Queen's army really is hot on our heels. They'll catch up to those fairies in no time unless someone closes the gate. Huh? The gate's closing. Wow, Bogart, I'm impressed. Was it set up to do that automatically when you passed through it?
Yes, I suppose by some curious stroke of luck it was.
Hearing Bogart speak through clenched teeth, the girl sensed something was amiss. She lifted her head and turned to look back at the now far-off gate.
Wait! Please wait! Goodbye! Goodbye! Thank you for rescuing me that day. Thank you for giving me a name. Thank you for always smiling at me.
Still cradled in Bogart's arms, the girl gathered all her strength to wave back at the two fairies with the brightest smile she could muster.
I can't believe it. Bogart's alive, and is that Mash there with them? Then she must have made it back in time to save him. That's great. I can't believe she pulled it off. But with the gate still open.
Oh crap, even at this distance, Mash is looking real pale. Lancelot must have gotten her. That's gotta be why Bogart's carrying her. But hey, at least now they can get away. What a relief. Come on, Rob, let's go after him. This is our chance to travel with Mash again.
Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. Hell, maybe we could even make Bogart part of the gang. He'd make the perfect bodyguard. That way Mash's job would get a little easier too. I bet Winky wouldn't be too happy about it though. But before we get to that, there's something else we've got to do first.
Huh? What do you mean, Rob? Is it important?
Yeah, real important. We're the only ones who can. I can't do it alone. No, it's something we have to do, Wog.
Are you okay, Rob? Is something wrong? Whatever it is, you can tell me. You're my big brother. Whatever you want to do, I'm game.
Thank you, Wog. All right then. Let's go close the gate. Don't worry, I still remember what you told me before. All we have to do is lower the levers that close the gate, then destroy the safety mechanism so they can't be opened again. That'll trap the Queen's soldiers inside for a good while.
But Rob, that didn't mean we... Aha, now I gotcha. Okay, Rob, just leave it to me. But we can at least say goodbye, right? We wouldn't want Mash to worry about us.
No, we wouldn't. And since the Queen's soldiers are going to break into the guardhouses anyway, we might as well run up to the top of the gate. From there... Okay, good. I just made eye contact with Bogart. He's sharper than he looks, so I'm sure he'll figure out what's going on. What are you fools doing?
Bogart's resonant voice rang throughout the town square. While it did snap the fairies out of their panic, it also alerted the Queen's army to their location.
Okay, let's do this, Wog. You know, I think this is the most excited I've been since we got to Fairy Britain.
You said it, Rob. We might have been in all sorts of trouble before, and life wasn't always easy here. But now I'm real glad we came.
And so, the two brothers closed the gate. It goes without saying that the Queen's soldiers were none too pleased. Once they found the fairies hiding in the guardhouses, the pair became the target of an army's frustration. The brothers saw Bogart shrinking into the distance, and in his arms the girl looking back at them.
Look, Rob, it's Mash. She sees us. Hey, Mash! I'm glad you're okay! I wish I was smart enough to say this better, but thanks for saving our lives! Thanks for everything!
Rob looked with sadness and pride at his brother happily waving at the girl. The sound of boots echoed louder from downstairs. Soon the brothers' journey would be over.
You know, putting your life on the line to protect what's most important to you is kind of nice. Oh, screw it. Who cares about the Queen's soldiers? I'm gonna wave to her too. Bye, Mash. Take care. Don't worry about us. You paid us back and then some long ago. Thanks again for saving us. Prophecy or no prophecy, you're the weirdest knight I ever met, but I wouldn't have it any other way. This was the best trip I ever had. I'll never forget it.
Later, some of the Queen's knights went out to search for the escapees. But Bogart and the others were nowhere to be seen. And so the Battle of Sheffield came to an end, with the voices of two fairies waving right up to their final moments. Sorry, I'm crying a little bit. The fairies from Sheffield evacuated to a cave north of the city. The twisted hole of Thistle Hill, a dread cave known to be home to a single night call. Bogart said he had readied the cave to serve as a shelter in the event of an emergency. He said he had defeated the night call himself, and that it was now a perfectly safe hideout. Naturally, it contained stores of food for humans and the fairies' favorite kind of oak trees. Bogart had done his duty as the Lord of Sheffield. But now...
Please, Lord Bogart, drink this. It's Thistle Morning Dew. It should at least keep you from getting parched.
Bogart had gone still. His body horribly cold, the light drained from his eyes. His strength hadn't really returned. His march to safety had been one final act of defiance from the Lord of Sheffield.
Child of prophecy, are you there?
Yes, Lord Bogart. I'm right here.
Lord, huh? Well, that makes sense. There are other fairies here after all. This cave leads to Eastern Odvena, Britain's leyline caverns. They can take you to any of the other cities without needing to step foot above ground. You can use them to make your escape. Guards, now that you've shaken the Queen's pursuers, you are to remain here for the time being. Whatever you do, do not ask Knocknaria for protection. She may be magnanimous to those who join, but she is ruthless to any who try to leave. She is little better than Morgan. If you must seek help, go south and find the round tape. Lord Bogart, please, you need to rest. Don't worry, my fellow guards and I will keep the people of Sheffield safe. The people of Sheffield, eh? I built Sheffield out of anger at being banished from Norwich 100 years ago. I never realized it until now, but I cared more about it than I realized. Being the lord of this domain and its people, it gave me a fiery sense of purpose. Yes, I did hate Morgan. I hated Woodrose and Spriggan too. I wanted to rule Fairy Britain, to get revenge on all of them. But the truth is, I wanted to protect Norwich as well. I wanted to save my people. and live up to their expectations of me. And above all, I wanted to go back home. Back to that city of sticky ocean wind and antsy crafts fairies. How strange. I always thought I hated that city's restless atmosphere. Do you understand these odd feelings, child of prophecy?
Yes, I do. You've described a hometown. Your hometown. Right from the start, you were rallying soldiers just so you could save Norwich, Lord Bogart.
I must have been more transparent than I thought. Tell me, child of prophecy, you who hates war, what happened to that iron cylinder?
She shook her head from side to side, unsure if Bogart could even see her.
I see. It seems I unwittingly gave you an excuse to escape. I don't regret anything I did as the Lord of Sheffield, but... Mash, right to the end, I wanted...
And so, Bogart quietly breathed his last. Even as the fairies grieved the loss of their lord, they were troubled by worry over what tomorrow may bring. But just when the mood in the cave couldn't get any more despondent, the lone girl raised her head with a strong sense of purpose.
Lady Mash, where are you going with your shield?
Hey, she's not Bogart's wife anymore, so what are you gonna do now, Mash? I'm going to Norwich.
Norwich, Lady Mash, by yourself?
Yes, and not because I may be the child of prophecy. I'm going because Norwich needs help. Right now, I want to save it more than anything. I feel like that's what I have to do.
Then we'll come with you. It's our job to keep the child of prophecy safe.
Don't be daft. You guys' job is to protect the townspeople, right? I know how you feel, but you can't just abandon your post like that. Not unless you want Bogart haunting you from the afterlife.
Well, that's true, but we can't send Lady Mash out alone.
She won't be alone. I'm going with her. Plus, we have a guide right here. Mr. Wolf, I knew you would stay with me.
The wolf turned without so much as a sound and began walking away, deep into the dark, dark caverns that led to the labyrinth known as Odvena.
And you mean we're leaving right now? Somebody's impatient. Then again, I guess that time isn't exactly on our side. If we're going to take to Odvena, it'll take us over a week to get to Norwich. And since there's no telling when this calamity pool thing might make a move, we don't have any time to rest.
I suppose you're right. The Odvena is a dangerous place. We would only slow Lady Mash down if we went along. Good luck, Lady Mash, and thank you for bringing Lord Bogart back to us.
Not at all. Thank you for everything you've done for us. For me. Take care of yourselves, everyone. I'm off to save Norwich as the Knight of Sheffield.
And so, the girl's journey truly began. While there were other dangers for her to overcome in the Odvena, those stories will have to wait for another time. The other child of prophecy would make her way through the labyrinth, befriending new fairies along the way to arrive in the fateful city of Norwich. What will happen there? You'll just have to see in the main story.